The NFL Today on CBS Sports is presented by Southwest Airlines.
And welcome back, everyone. Right now, Windows simplifies today's matchup in Houston as we take you first on the field. Let's send it out live to the Dolphins-Texans contest where Ian Eagle and Dan Fouts are standing by. Gentlemen.
JB, the start of a new season brings high expectations in the city of Houston. The Texans are the defending AFC South champions. Today they play host to the new-look Miami Dolphins here on CBS. And welcome to the broadcast booth, everybody. Ian Eagle along with Hall of Famer Dan Fouts. NFL kickoff weekend. Excited for what's to come this season 2012, and this is new territory for the Houston Texans because they are among the favorites in the AFC to maybe even go to the Super Bowl. And why not, Dan? They've got the big three on offense, and maybe the most important part, the big three right now is healthy.
Well, Matt Schaub told us yesterday that he's over his foot injury that happened to him last year that cost him 6 games. And Schaub is excited about the expectations. He likes the fact they took the first step last year, hope to take the next step this year. Nobody gets in the end zone more often in the last 2 seasons than that man, Arian Foster. And the final piece of the big three for the Texans, wide receiver Andre Johnson. If he can stay healthy, look out. Last year, this trio played together only 4% of the time.
There were concerns earlier this week about Arian Foster and a potential knee injury. He actually told us that it was more of a calf injury. He's good to go. Dan, you had a chance to see him in pregame warm-ups. You feel that
he looked awful good. Yeah, he looked good in warm-ups. You know, he's a tough guy. He's ready to roll.
All right, let's talk about this defense because in past years, they didn't get equal billing with the offense, and now finally they're getting respect around the NFL. They got a bunch of playmakers, including Brian Cushing.
Well, Brian Cushing was named MVP by his teammates last year. That's really all you need to know. His defensive coordinator, Wade Phillips, told me Cushing's just a natural, always finds the football, but look for him today to be more active when it comes to rushing the quarterback.
And you mentioned Wade Phillips, the impact that he had last year. Look at the jump in defensive statistics from 2010 to 2011. That includes number 2 in overall defense last season. All right, the Miami Dolphins. No team wants to talk about rebuilding. That's not a word that's often accepted in the NFL, but right now that might be the reality for Miami. They have a first-year head coach in Joe Philbin. They've got a rookie quarterback in Ryan Tannehill. They're putting a lot on his shoulders as he makes his NFL debut.
Yeah, you come away from after meeting with Ryan, you can see this is a intelligent, confident, very mature young man of 24 years old. He knows his decision-making today will be key for the Dolphins. After a successful season with the Aggies, Ryan Tannehill hopes to graduate to the big time today. Poised and determined to make the Dolphins validate the fact they chose him such high in the draft.
Number 8 overall pick, and really the question's where are they going to generate offense? Who are the players that Tannehill is going to be able to lean on? One of those guys has to be the running back, Reggie Bush.
Well, he is the main guy. Had a career year last year in his first season with Miami. He likes the up-tempo offensive coordinator, Mike Sherman. It's different, puts a lot of pressure on the opposing defenses, but it will be tested today here in a noisy Reliance Stadium.
And it's time right now for our Tools for Success, presented by Home Depot.
Let's focus on the pass rushers today. For the Dolphins, Cameron Wake remains a threat to any and all quarterbacks. He is relentless. For the Texans, no Mario Williams anymore, no problem, as Connor Barwin led the Houston Texans in sacking the QB last year. The Texans are at their best when they run the ball well and play action off their zone run concepts. Miami is hoping their Texas A&M connection of Mike Sherman and Ryan Tannehill will find success here in their home Lone Star State.
For more Home Depot player stats, log on to CBSSports.com. All the action coming up. Miami and Houston, the 7th all-time meeting. The Texans 6-0 against the Dolphins through the years. NFL kickoff weekend. It's next on CBS. It's the NFL on CBS, live from Houston, Texas. Week 1, the Miami Dolphins taking on the Houston Texans. And today's game is being broadcast in Spanish. We're available using the SAP button on your television. Here at Reliant Stadium, unveiling the championship banner from last year, AFC South champions, but the Texans have set their sights on bigger things in 2012. The opening kick when we come back.
Presenting Subway Fresh Buzz. Subway, the official training restaurant of Justin Tuck and Damakong Su, Robert Griffin III, and athletes everywhere.
To the following presentation of the National Football League.
Dolphins and the Texans, the head coach of the Miami Dolphins, Joe Philbin, an assistant coach for 28 years, most recently with the Green Bay Packers, and he takes over the Dolphins in his NFL head coaching debut. And Gary Kubiak, now in his 7th year as the head coach of the Texans, got a contract extension during the offseason along with general manager Rick Smith after this team made the playoffs last year for the first time in franchise history. Miami has won the toss. They will receive. The veteran Shane Graham will kick it off for Houston. Deep man for Miami is Marcus Thigpen, first-year running back out of Indiana. We're underway from Houston. The Texans and the Dolphins. Thigpen on the move. Thigpen up the middle. And caught from behind as a flag comes down. Brought down just shy of the 30-yard line. The replacement officials in play here in week 1. And Don King is our referee here this afternoon in Houston.
During the return, hold number 59. 10-yard penalty, first down.
And that's Jonathan Freeney, who was just activated off the practice squad. Ryan Tannehill, his NFL debut at quarterback. Tannehill from Big Spring, Texas. Started 25 games at Texas A&M. 6 of those came at wide receiver and then really came into his own as a QB for the Aggies. On first down, just short of the 20-yard line. First play from scrimmage. It's a give to Bush, and he's got nowhere to go. 1-yard gain, Sean Cody there to bring him down. They were former teammates at USC. Let's take a look at the starting offense for Miami. Jake Long nursing an injury late in the preseason, sprained MCL right knee, but he's in there for the Dolphins. Backs and receivers, Devon Bess, the most notable of the wide receivers. This is not a big-time group of receivers for Tannehill to work with. Moving quickly on offense, and Tannehill hits Bess's first completion as a pro. And it's enough for a first down. 10-yard pickup. Manning and Jackson combined to bring him down. Defensively for Houston, J.J. Watt. Watt had an elbow injury throughout preseason, but he's in there in this 3-4 set for the Texans. Playmakers at linebacker, a new face. Brady James came over from Dallas, where he played for Wade Phillips when he was with the Cowboys. And Jonathan Joseph, the Pro Bowl last year at the quarterback spot. Cody, the hit on Bush once again. That's a 7-yard gain, and Miami wants to go fast-paced with Mike Sherman, the offensive coordinator.
Yeah, you're going to have to take a breath every once in a while, partner, because this is an up-tempo offense. It's the same offense that Tannehill ran at Texas A&M when Mike Sherman was his head coach. He's now his offensive coordinator. Playbook's very similar, and so far it looks good for the Dolphins.
Tannehill, the first rookie quarterback to ever start in the season opener for the Dolphins. And it's Bush accelerating out across the 45. Good block up front from Mike Pouncey, the talented second-year center. That's a gain of 9.
Watch him come in here, hesitate a bit, and then use that acceleration. Right in behind Jake Long. Good double team there that time with Incognito coming over, but patience and then explosion by Bush.
So a new set of downs for Miami to work with. 6-10 last season. They let Tony Sparano go with 3 games remaining as the head coach of the Dolphins. They did win 6 of their last 9 games to finish the season strong. Tannehill on a dump off for Bush. And Bush is hit from the side, 5-yard gain. Brian Cushing, those two are very close friends. Cushing was a freshman when Bush was a junior in his final year at USC, and Cushing told us he learned a lot about how to commit yourself to this job from Reggie Bush.
Well, and Bush says they are very good friends, except for the 60 minutes of playing time that they'll have here today.
Right around 4:05 Eastern time, they'll renew the relationship. 2nd and 6. Tannehill, high throw. He put it over the head of Daniel Thomas, second-year running back from Kansas State. And it'll bring up 3rd down for Miami.
I like what I see out of Tannehill so far. He's been cool in the pocket. He ad-libbed on the previous play, and that time he saw Brooks Reed covering the back out of the backfield and just let the ball go out of bounds. Smart play by Tannehill.
And you mentioned it. The playbook is the same from Texas A&M, the foundation. Tannehill did say that Coach Philbin brought over some plays from Green Bay. 7th play of the drive. Tannehill can't handle the snap. Fortunate, though, but Thomas was there. They won't get the 1st down, but they don't turn it over. It's 4th down.
Yeah, really heads up by Daniel Thomas there. Take a look at the snap. It just looked like Tannehill wasn't ready for it. Still looking at the defense, and that's the danger of the shotgun formation. You could see his eyes were looking left when Pouncey delivered the ball right on target.
So Tannehill, some positives in his first drive as an NFL quarterback, but ultimately Dolphins have to punt with Brandon Fields, 6th-year pro. The dangerous Trindon Holiday, 3 returns for touchdowns in the preseason. The former LSU track star. Fair catch called for at the 10. Fields does his job with a 39-yard punt. And the Texans will take over on offense for the first time when we come back.
Back at Reliance Stadium, check out the eyes of Ryan Tannehill as he looks around at the defense and doesn't look at the ball. It hits him right dead in the chest. The eyes get big. Fortunately, the bounce goes to Thomas, and the first miscue by the rookie quarterback is averted.
No serious damage there. Houston takes over, a 1st and 10 at the 10-yard line to open things up. Matt Schaub slings it on 1st down, dropped by Foster. Schaub now in his 6th year as the Texans starter, limited to 10 games last year because of right foot surgery. He told us it was a little bit slow, the progression coming back from that. Procedure took place in April, took the hardware out. There's still 1 screw left in there, but he finally feels as good as he did before the injury.
Yeah, he likes the expectations too, but he knows that they won't look too far ahead. A lot of veterans on this team with blinders on.
2nd and 10 for Houston. Schaub to throw it again. On an out route, catch made by Andre Johnson. And it's a 1st down. In coverage, Sean Smith from Miami. It covers 11 yards. Take a look at the Houston offense. Derek Newton, a 2nd-year pro out of Arkansas State, got the nod at right tackle. Eric Winston left for Kansas City. The backs and receivers, what a talented group this is, including Arian Foster. 5 years, $43 million during the offseason. He's been the most explosive running back in the NFL the last 2 years. So a 1st down just across the 20-yard line. Schaub steps, fires, wide open. Owen Daniels bangs his way just short of the 45. And that's a 23-yard pass and catch for Houston.
Excellent pass protection for Matt Schaub. You can see he can step up and with a clear throwing lane find his tight end down the middle. Daniels, that's his 300th catch of his NFL career.
So 1st down at the 44 for Houston. 10:20 to go in this 1st quarter. No running play so far for the Texans. They'll run it here. Foster turns the corner. Able to absorb the contact, and Arian Foster breaking free of Richard Marshall. Take a look at the Miami defense. Paul Soliai went to the Pro Bowl last year. A lot of responsibility, often taking on 2 blockers up front. Linebacking core, this is a switch. Carlos Dansby is now a middle linebacker in his 9th year in the NFL. And in the secondary, one of the new faces, Richard Marshall, signed as a free agent from Arizona. After the 6-yard run by Foster. Daniels the motion man on It's 2nd and 4. Shaw. Quick toss, dropped by Martin. Rookie out of Michigan State. They've got high hopes for Keyshawn Martin, taken in the 4th round, but unable to haul it in.
The key word there, rookie. That was a rookie play if you've ever seen one. He was open on the slant route there and was looking to make big yardage with a reverse pivot and go down the sidelines. Got to catch the ball first, Rook.
So a 3rd and 4 now for Houston. 7th in the NFL last year on 3rd down conversions. Texans just shy of midfield. Foster remains in there. Schaub throws. It's handled. And Lestar Jean, 2nd year out of Florida Atlantic. He was on injured reserve last year with a shoulder injury, and Matt Schaub told us this guy's got huge upside.
Well, and a lot of confidence shown by Schaub as he let this ball go before Jean was out of his break. Jean really proved himself in the preseason, led the Texans in receiving. Good catch there.
Schaub said he just goes up and attacks the ball, and he's got deceptive speed. New set of downs to work with for Houston in Miami territory. Foster gets a touch here, looking for an opening. Foster. 6-yard run for Arian Foster. Dwayne Brown, one of the better left tackles in the NFL, creating some space.
Just like all great running backs, it's the vision and patience, and then the explosion and breaking tackles. We've seen Foster already in this first quarter, this first drive, break a couple of tackles and get down the field.
He's developed a nice relationship with Terrell Davis. Davis played for Kubiak in Denver, both from the San Diego area. Foster said he loved Davis growing up. He hated Davis because he was on the Broncos, but loved him as a running back. Foster was a Raiders fan growing up. Ben Tate, he runs with confidence, getting to the outside. And a 6-yard rip for Tate, who gained 942 yards last season out of Auburn.
And he had 103 yards against the same Dolphins last season. But you talk about a good 1-2 punch for the Texans. Ben Tate with explosion and speed to get to the corner. And I expect that Gary Kubiak told us yesterday that it should be a ratio of about 4-2. 4 carries for Foster and then 2 for Tate.
So if you break those down, that would be a 2-to-1 ratio, wouldn't it? If I do the math on that, Dan?
Really?
Fake the handoff. Schaub in trouble. Schaub is spun down at the 35 by Randy Starks. The 9-year veteran gets to the quarterback, and a loss of 4 on the play.
You got to give the Dolphins secondary credit on this one because Schaub had about 5 seconds to find a receiver. Wanted to go deep, didn't have it, then tried to escape the pocket. That's where Starks gets him. But good job by the Dolphins secondary that time, a secondary that has been tested already here in the first series of plays.
Miami Dolphins 1-5 in season openers the last 6 years. Schaub, deep ball. It's caught. Lestar Jean, but he's out of bounds. Richard Marshall had the coverage. Very, very close along that sideline.
Yeah, this is a touchdown. They're going to. I would challenge this if I'm Kubiak, because Jean did a great job of getting both feet down before he went out of bounds. There's waiting to look at the replay board, and here comes the flag out of Kubiak's back pocket, and he tosses it right now. Just in time, too.
Lestar Jean, undrafted free agent, the ability to make acrobatic grabs.
Watch the left foot. The right foot will drag. That's a touchdown.
On the field that the player was out of bounds.
Tremendous play by Lestar Jean.
Now the only question I had, did he secure the ball at the end of the play when he spilled out along the sideline?
It's a good question.
I'm with you, Dan. I think he got both feet in. We'll see what the officials think.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. NFL Mobile from Verizon, built to bring you the game. And by Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Here we go.
Officials taking a look at the replay here, and this is what they were looking at.
Yeah, they told us they're looking at his feet.
After review, the rolling on the field stands, incomplete pass.
The feet were good, but there was no possession of the ball. After the play would get the feet down by Gene, but he did not maintain possession of the ball throughout the entire catch. Watch the ball come out of his left arm here. That's why it's an incomplete pass.
Yeah, ball was spilling out right at the end of the play for Lestar Gene, and now it's a 3rd and 14 for Houston. Schaub is 3 of 6, working out of the gun. Foster lines up as a receiver. Schaub, quick toss, looking for the screen, and it goes through the hands of Foster. Miami was all over it.
Sean Smith with real tight coverage there. I got to question that call there. Schaub did not see the tight coverage by number 24 at the bottom of the screen here. That's the second pass now that Arian Foster has let go through his hands. First play of the game, he couldn't catch one. Then on that 3rd and long, under the pressure from Smith, couldn't bring that one in.
Shane Graham is kicking for his 8th NFL team, 2005 Pro Bowler when he was with Cincinnati. This is a 52-yard attempt, trying to get Houston on the board. Donnie Jones will hold it. From 52 yards away, Graham. And it is short. It was on line, but didn't have quite enough leg. Joe Philbin clapping his hands. Miami's defense is held. No score, Miami and Houston. You know, nobody knows the game like a quarterback. Join Phil Simms, Steve Berline, Rich Gannon with host Adam Shine on the premiere of NFL Monday QB. That's tomorrow, 5 Eastern only on CBS Sports Network.
Yeah, I'll be making a few appearances on that show. The biggest challenge for the show is, number one, find out where I live, and then find out how to put a camera in my log home in Sisters, Oregon.
Do you have indoor plumbing yet or not?
What is that?
They've got the technology, Dan. They're going to make it work. Miami gets excellent field position after the missed field goal. Reggie Bush, stutter step. Bush accelerating through the hole across the 50-yard line. 11-yard gain for Bush. That left side of the line. Give credit to Long and Incognito, along with Mike Pouncey creating room.
That's what Bush proved last year with the Dolphins, that he could run between the tackles, especially when you get blocking like that.
He told us he likes this up-tempo offense. It's different. It puts a lot of pressure on the defense. Trying to move the pile a bit, and a 5-yard pickup. So they're running on this defense right now. It's Bush again, Cushing with the stop.
Well, they're showing a lot of confidence. Their defense shut down the Texans after a good drive. The missed field goal gave the Dolphins great field position to start this drive.
Mike Sherman was the assistant head coach under Gary Kubiak here in Houston, 2006, 2007. Then took over as the head man for Texas A&M. Tannehill on a give. Bush slashes his way to the 35-yard line. Jake Long with another block on that left side. It's an 8-yard gain for Bush and another Miami first down.
And just as we've seen with Arian Foster being able to be patient and have great vision, Bush had this play designed to run to the right side. He saw it all the way back to the left side. Of course, that's where Jake Long is. He knows where his blockers are, and he got another good gain.
Jake Long, 4-time Pro Bowler, the #1 overall pick back in 2008. 35 rushing yards now for Miami. Daniel Thomas is in there. Lane, the fullback, is on the sideline. The throw, too high, and it's Fasano. 2 men in the area. Fasano with the grab. It went over the head of Charles Clay, who used to be the starting fullback, now more of an H-back tight end role. It's a 12-yard gain.
Yeah, I think they fooled the Texans with this, as Clay goes up in the air, goes right through his hands, and there's Fasano with the catch, and the Dolphins are close to the red zone.
Fooled the Texans and the play-by-play guy.
That's rare.
It's a first down for Miami, just short of the 20. Dolphins are on the move. Full house backfield. Tannehill on a give. Daniel Thomas is brought down quickly. Gain of a yard, yard and a half. J.J. Watt read that play perfectly for Houston. We asked Watt about watching Hard Knocks. Miami was the featured team this year. And he said he picked up some of the snap counts, and the biggest thing he picked up was players' demeanors, their mental makeup. So when he goes up against them. 2nd and 8. Again, 3 in the backfield. Fake the handoff. Tannehill, sidearm throw. Devon Bess over there. And Bess showing off the good hands across the 15-yard line. Bess has been one of the best third down receivers in the NFL the last couple of years.
You'll love to see this out of a quarterback, the ability to adjust to pressure and get the ball to his receiver. And how about the catch by Bess? Running hard, had to almost stop, come back, reach low, and make the catch.
Devon Bess, the most catches by a Dolphin in his first 4 seasons in the NFL. 7th play of the drive on a 3rd and 2. They get to the backfield, and Bush has nowhere to go. Martin over there. Ball popped loose. Miami will retain it and will at least get a field goal try.
Watch this play by Brian Cushing as he's going to shoot the gap here, knock the ball out, and fortunately for the Dolphins, Jonathan Martin, the rookie out of Stanford, comes up with a recovery. That's twice now the Dolphins have recovered the ball when the Texans had a shot at it.
Dan Carpenter, who's been very consistent for Miami now in his 5th year in the NFL, went to the Pro Bowl in 2009. And Carpenter out to attempt a 39-yard field goal. Brandon Fields will hold it. Denny the snapper. Carpenter, 39-yarder. He nails it. Miami on the board with a 3-0 lead. 3:12 to play. First quarter, we're coming back to Houston.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by E-Trade. Works beautifully. And by the new 2013 Ford F-150 with EcoBoost.
Eight-play drive, 37 yards. Carpenter, a 39-yard field goal. Miami scores first, a 3-0 lead over Houston. A lot of new faces on this Dolphins team. 11 rookies, 3 of them starting on offense. And Carpenter will kick it off to Trindon Holiday for Houston. Holiday, 2009 NCAA champion in the 100 meters. Holiday can't handle it initially. Now will try to recover, and he can't. Holiday is buried just short of the 5-yard line. Jimmy Wilson getting down on special teams to make the play against Holiday.
You know, Holiday should have just left this ball in the end zone. He could have just fallen on it and taken a touchback. He had problems in the preseason, dropped a couple of balls, lost a couple of fumbles. But right there, that's just a disaster. A big error by Trindon Holiday. Joe Marciano talking to him on the sidelines. Of course, Holiday had a fantastic preseason with 3 touchdowns off of returns and just 19 touches.
All 5'5", 170 pounds of him. First down for Houston, deep in its own territory, trailing 3-0. Shot on again. Foster, good cut by Foster. Gets it to the 10-yard line, give him a gain of 5. Koamisi with a stop for Miami.
And you can see the Texans running to the right for the first time behind Derek Newton, starting right tackle there. And again, Foster does such a good job at setting up his blocks, allowing the defense to take themselves out of the play at times.
Training camp battle at right tackle between Newton and Rashad Butler. Butler got injured, a tricep injury. He's on IR. Newton had won the job, but they also signed the veteran Ryan Harris to back him up. There's Foster. Foster gets to the outside, and he's thrown down. Cameron Wake, first man there, and Kevin Burnett helping out as well. It's a 3-yard pickup for Foster, sets up 3rd and 2.
Well, he broke the tackle of Cameron Wake. He just had such great leverage because he runs low and just has the strength to pull out of tackles. Wake playing defensive end where he's more comfortable than he was as a stand-up linebacker. Told us yesterday that's where he played in the Canadian Football League and had all his success, so it's natural for him to go back and put his hand on the ground.
He said it was actually a bigger transition to go play linebacker than it is to play defensive end. 3rd and short. Foster, nothing there. Foster gets stood up. Randy Starks and Carlos Dansby. No gain on the play.
And Starks does a little namaste there, didn't he?
He sure did.
Imitating Arian Foster here after the tackle. Good job by Starks. Then he gets help from Dansby. And then up off the ground.
And Foster a little bit slow, shaking his head after the hit. Arian Foster had an MRI on his knee to see if there was any swelling this week. There wasn't, but there was an issue in the top of the calf. The punt from Donnie Jones. Marcus Thigpen waiting for it. Fair catch called for, and brings it in cleanly at the 38-yard line. That's where Miami will set up shop after the 48-yard punt.
They've been compromised.
No matter what happens, don't let anyone in.
Hawaii 5-0 returns CBS September 24th.
You're watching the NFL on CBS, home of Super Bowl 47.
Miami with a 3-0 lead over Houston. Ryan Tannehill, his last college start came right here at Reliant Stadium. He went 27 of 40, 329 yards and a touchdown in a win over Northwestern. Said his family was coming in.
Yeah, he got a trophy and a Stetson.
That's right. He says he has the Stetson, but he's in a little bit of a move with the boxes, so it's buried in there somewhere. Tannehill, tip ball. Oh, what an effort! Anthony Fasano. That ball was up for grabs, and Fasano with a clean catch for 4 yards.
It's been this kind of day for Ryan Tannehill so far. Going through his ups and downs, but this is a great job of staying with it right here. Tipped at the line of scrimmage, tipped another time by a defender, and Fasano lays out for the catch.
And Fasano was just trying to knock it down to the ground there to avoid the interception. Handoff. Daniel Thomas shooting through that hole, and a first down for Miami. 8-yard gain out to midfield. That time, Jonathan Martin, the rookie out of Stanford, with a good block, second-round pick for the Dolphins.
Yeah, great field position for the Dolphins. Last two drives, though, ended with fumbles that were recovered by the Dolphins.
End of the first quarter. The Miami Dolphins with a 3-0 lead over the Houston Texans. We'll come back to Texas after these messages. You're watching the NFL on CBS, home of Super Bowl 47. Ian Eagle, Dan Fouts, rest of our CBS crew with you in Houston, where the Dolphins lead the Texans 3-0. We start play in the second quarter. Miami's got it with a 1st and 10 at midfield. Play action. Tannehill throws, puts touch on it. Incomplete. Looking for Brian Hartline. Hartline, who has dealt with a calf injury throughout preseason, and a penalty marker is down.
Holding. Offense 77. 10-yard penalty. Replay first down.
And that's Jake Long called on the hold.
Left side of the screen, there is Long holding J.J. Watt right around the neck. Good call by the officials, and a good clean hit by J.J. Watt on Tannehill.
And what did Watt tell us about last year? Trial and error for him. He said there was a lot of error early, but he figured out that, hey, I got to use my power. I'm not a speed finesse guy.
295 pounds of power, overpowered Jake Long that time.
1st and 20 now for Miami, back to the 40-yard line. Tannehill in the pocket. Tannehill trying to make a play out of the pocket, throws incomplete. Daniel Thomas, the intended receiver. How about Ryan Tannehill in this first half?
Well, he's had to ad-lib a little bit. Here he overthrows the guy and gets a completion. Now watch under pressure the sidearm throw for another completion. And then he's bailed out here, but outstanding effort by Fasano. First trying to knock the ball down, and then realizing he could catch one. 5 of 7 now for Tannehill for 36 yards. Good start for the rookie.
2nd and 20 for the Dolphins. Working out of the gun. Tannehill. Pocket holds up. Hits his man, Devon Bess, in stride, and Bess takes it out near midfield for a 9-yard pickup. Bryce McCain there defensively for Houston.
That's a pretty good battle there after the catch by Bess. McCain in the trail position. See from the left side of the screen coming across. Bess tries to stiff arm him away, but the tenacity by McCain brings him down.
3rd and 11. Crowd really getting into it. Retractable roof is closed here at Reliant Stadium. From the gun. Tannehill steps, rifles, incomplete. Anthony Armstrong, who was cut by Washington, back for his second stint with Miami. The intended receiver, Daniel Manning, had a shot at an interception, and Miami will punt it.
Well, this is a ball that Armstrong's got to catch there. I know it's out a little bit in front of him. Maybe he takes another step before he leaves his feet here. But Tannehill went to the open man. Very positive play by the rookie quarterback.
Brandon Fields on for his second punt of the day. Trendon Holiday standing at his own 10-yard line for Houston. End over end. Holiday fair catch, and he brings it in at the 13. So once again, Houston will have it deep in its own territory after the 38-yard punt. Hey, it's not too late to play NFL.com fantasy football. Sign up today for the official fantasy game of the NFL at NFL.com/fantasy. Houston Texans offense. So far, they've managed 65 yards of offense in this first half. Houston last season, before Schaub went down, one of the better offenses in the NFL. Schaub knocked away. Looking for Johnson. Richard Marshall makes the play along the sideline for the Dolphins.
We highlighted Marshall in the starting lineups here with tough assignment here, staying with Andre Johnson, but beautiful job of getting the left hand out and knocking the ball away. Excellent play by Marshall. That will help his confidence going against the great Johnson.
Last year, Houston led the NFL in scoring first. 13 times last year they scored first, and they went 9-4 in those games. It's Miami with a 3-0 lead here in the second quarter. Schaub straight back. They handle the rush. Schaub dump off for Ben Tate. And Tate takes it out across the 20-yard line. Koamisi with a tackle for Miami. It's an 8-yard gain, sets up 3rd and short.
Well, the field position game has been won by the Dolphins. Obviously, Houston's average starting point is the 9-yard line. Now they're barely out to the 21, so the Dolphins have got to be feeling good about the way they're controlling the field position.
These two teams did play last year, week 2 down in South Florida, and Houston beat Miami 23-13. Andre Johnson with a touchdown to seal it late. On a 3rd and 2 now for the Texans. Schaub looking to throw it. Schaub, little floater over the top. He's got Owen Daniels for a big gain. Out near midfield, Daniels forced out of bounds at the 49. The touch of Matt Schaub and the play design by Gary Kubiak and company. It covers 29 yards.
Here's Daniels right here after the play action here. Good pass protection for Schaub, and we talk about touch. Dropped it in over the linebacker for 29 yards to Owen Daniels.
So Schaub is now 5 of 10, 80 yards. And this drive continues for Houston. Second catch of the day for Owen Daniels. And a timeout called by the Texans. Play clock was winding down. We've got 12:34 to play in this first half. It's Miami with a 3-0 advantage on Houston.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Geico, where 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. The Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. And by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
Second quarter action here in Houston. 3-0. The Dolphins leading the Texans. This week the NFL lost a member of their family. Art Modell, the owner of the Cleveland Browns and Baltimore Ravens from 1961 to 2004, passed away at the age of 87. The Ravens won Super Bowl 35 over the New York Giants. Modell so instrumental in that relationship between the NFL and network television. Gregarious personality, and of course our thoughts go out to the Modell family.
Yeah, elite company as a Super Bowl winning owner of the Baltimore Ravens. Did a lot for the game and a lot for our industry.
The Miami Dolphins So many question marks about this team heading into week one. How the rookie quarterback would handle things, the rookie head coach as well. They lead 3-0. Arian Foster is zigzagging into Miami territory. Garrett Graham and Chris Myers with blocks up front to pick up 7.
Running behind, big left tackle Dwayne Brown, 312 pounds. But again, they get the corner, and then Foster just makes it look so easy as he glides through openings. Very patient, great power, 7 yards.
NFL best 141.6 yards from scrimmage per game last season, but missed 3 games with a hamstring injury. 2nd and 3 for Houston. Keep it on the ground. Foster runs into a crowd and picks up a yard. Jared Odrick, 3rd-year pro out of Penn State, in on that stop for Miami.
Now this is a good defensive line. When you've got Soliai and Starks at the tackles, Odrick coming into his own as a defensive end, and then Cameron Wake providing the pass rush. This is the strength of this Miami defense.
And this is a 4-3 look now under new defensive coordinator Kevin Coyle, formerly with the Cincinnati Bengals. Last year, Miami lost 9 games where they held the lead, so they were in a bunch of games they just could not finish. Here's Schaub on 3rd and 2. Upstairs, and nobody home, looking for Daniels.
How about the middle linebacker, Carlos Dansby, all the way down the field with the tight end. Dansby with a good job of coverage there. Watch him right here in the middle. Coming over late from the safety position is Chris Clemens, but that's a good job by your middle linebacker way down the field.
Dansby was really confident in our meetings yesterday. We asked him about this team. He said, hey, we've got the talent to be a playoff caliber team, trying to instill in the young guys that there are high expectations here. Devon Bess, the return man, and he never gets a chance to touch it. Houston doing a good job downfield. Allen Ball downs it after the 44-yard punt by Jones. Miami in front of Houston here in the 2nd quarter. The 2012 NFL draft class for quarterbacks. Ryan Tannehill, the 3rd overall QB taken behind Andrew Luck and RG3. All making their NFL debuts today. Handoff, Reggie Bush, spin move across the 10-yard line, and Bush continues to get it done. That's a 7-yard gain for Reggie Bush. Tannehill, the 8th overall pick. Andrew Luck went number 1. Robert Griffin III, 2nd overall. There's Brandon Weeden starting for Cleveland in the 1st round. And Russell Wilson, the starter in Seattle. Pete Carroll making the decision to go with the rookie at QB. RG3 just threw a 2nd touchdown pass of the day. Handoff to Bush, and he runs into a wall at the 15-yard line, led by Danielle Manning for Houston.
Yeah, if there's one comparison between Bush and Arian Foster, is that Bush will not break a lot of tackles. He will make people miss, as we saw in the first play of this drive, but he's not going to break a lot of tackles by those big defensive linemen.
Both are San Diego guys. We asked Bush about Foster. He said, look, I've studied him a lot. Great player, the best zone running scheme back in the NFL. The way he hits the hole. Javorsky Lane, the fullback, rookie out of Texas A&M. 24 yards and a 1st down for Miami.
Great play action play here. Watch the fullback come out into the flat here. Lane at 277 pounds. His first play in the NFL, and it's a big one. 24 yards down the sidelines for Lane.
Played in the Arena League, played in the Indoor Football League, the West Texas Roughnecks. Here's Tannehill. Out route, broken up. Looking for Hartline, Kareem Jackson. Playing with more confidence in now his 3rd year of the NFL. Jonathan Joseph was a big help to him last year.
Yeah, this is a poor throw by Tannehill. Really his first poor throw of the game. Threw it behind Hartline and gave Kareem Jackson a chance at the interception.
On a 2nd and 10 now for Miami. 9:14 mark of the 2nd quarter. Bush in the backfield. On 2nd down, Reggie Bush Chased down from behind, Danielle Manning.
Well, Manning, who came over last year, really solidified his strong safety position. Shows his speed in running down Bush from behind there. He likes how this defense is a competitive group. Positive peer pressure is applied by this defense of the Texans.
Yeah, he said, we just don't want to let one another down. We look at each other in the locker room. We know that we've got one another's back.
Great situation.
3rd and 12. Tannehill. Crowd is loud underneath. Reggie Bush. Can he get to the stick? Bush got the angle and a first down for Miami.
We saw earlier when Brian Cushing made Bush fumble. Well, this time this is payback here. Watch number 22, and it's his SC buddy here, Cushing. Bush is going to catch this ball out in the flat as Tannehill finds his outlet receiver, and then it's just too much speed for Cushing to keep up with Bush as he jumps out of bounds for the first down.
Remember, Reggie Bush could have been the #1 overall pick back in '07 when they took Mario Williams. There's Bush. Tannehill.
Tannehill was tripped by a center, I believe, coming away, trying to get the ball to Bush on a handoff. Watch here. Actually, it's his left guard, John Jerry. And when John Jerry steps on your foot, you're going to go down.
Yeah, a little bit of weight.
300 pounds.
How many? I'm sorry. 300 what?
Well, we haven't weighed him recently, but he has lost weight.
Jerry came into camp at 360, dropped 20 pounds.
And he dropped 340 then on Ryan Tannehill's foot.
2nd and 12. Tannehill out of the gun. Tannehill picked off. It's intercepted by Jonathan Joseph. Joseph now into Miami territory. Joseph out of bounds. And there's the break they were looking for against the rookie QB. Penalty marker thrown as Joseph was hit at the end of the play.
Yeah, Joseph going out of bounds after picking up his 19th career interception. Another guy that came over last year, this time from Cincinnati, jumps in front of the receiver that time. Legadou Nane, and then down the sidelines. Here's the late hit as he's out of bounds, and there's the penalty. Looks like it's Mike Pouncey.
Pouncey the guilty party. Don King will fill us in.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 51 on the offense, at half the distance to the goal line, automatic first down.
So Jonathan Joseph, Pro Bowl last year after signing the 5-year, $49 million contract, had 4 interceptions last season. He's got his first pick in week 1 this season.
And Pouncey figures that he had to run about 30 yards. He might as well hit the guy after it.
1st and goal for Houston. Trying to take the lead on Miami. Daniels, the motion man. Yeah, this play never gets off.
First penalty against the Texans. It's Owen Daniels, the tight end, moving early.
False start, number 81 of the offense. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
So back it up. Owen Daniels, 54 catches, 677 yards, 3 touchdowns last season. He's always been one of the favorite receivers for Matt Schaub.
And has been today, 2 catches for 52 yards.
So 1st and goal from the 12 now for Houston. Foster in the backfield. Play fake. Schaub. Pressure was coming, so he couldn't get it to Casey cleanly. It's incomplete.
Yeah, Jared Odrick with the good pressure that time. Watch number 98 not go for the play fake. Goes right after the quarterback. There's good coverage there by Kevin Burnett, too. I think that if that ball had been on target, Burnett had a shot at the pick.
2nd and goal for Houston. So first interception for Ryan Tannehill in his NFL debut. The first quarterback the Dolphins have taken in the first round since Dan Marino, our colleague, back in 1983. Schaub sets. Schaub thrown down. It's Randy Starks for the second time. They get to the quarterback, a loss of 8 on the play.
Well, check out Starks here, picking up his second sack here in the first half. Starks showing his power as he just gets right through into the backfield, and Schaub has no place to go with the ball.
Starks getting around Wade Smith, and Schaub had no options. Shotgun, 3rd and goal. They'll go conservative now. Arian Foster unable to cut it upfield. The Miami Dolphins defense has been impressive in this first half.
And how about the fans booing the home team here? Penalty on first down, sack on second, and a conservative play there. Not trying for the end zone with a pass or anything.
How do we open the show? High expectations in this city. The Texans are not just supposed to be a playoff team. They're supposed to be a team that makes a run in the AFC playoffs. 35-yard field goal attempt for Shane Graham. And he knocks it through to tie this one up at 3-3.
And they were huge favorites against the Dolphins.
6:12 to play, first half in Houston.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by KFC. Come in today and taste why fresh is better.
Last year, with Matt Schaub in the lineup, this Houston team went 7-3, averaged over 27 points per game and nearly 400 yards. They get their first points of the day on a field goal from Graham. Earlier in the day, you could blame it on poor field position, but after the Joseph interception, Houston was all set up and could not find a rhythm on offense and settled for 3. Graham, the kickoff. Marcus Thigpen, the bounce, is going to have to take it out. Scoops it up. Thigpen. And they button him up at the 17-yard line. Alan Ball on special teams. Sherlock Holmes is back. And in a city of unsolved crimes, he's the biggest mystery of all. Elementary premieres Thursday, September 27th, only on CBS. Ryan Tannehill and the Miami Dolphins offense. 130 yards so far in this first half. Tannehill is 8 of 13, 82 yards and a pick. Reggie Bush, 10 carries for 41 yards. It'll be Bush cutting to the outside. Bush spun down across the 25 by Cushing. It's a 10-yard gain for Bush. Able to circle out of trouble and get extra yardage.
Yeah, the Texans really lost contain that time. Joe Philbin's got to be happy with the way his ball club is performing, both offensively and defensively. But I'm sure he's curious to see how will Tannehill react after throwing his first NFL interception.
Joe Philbin, the 10th head coach in Miami Dolphins history, stints with the Packers, Iowa, Harvard, Northwestern, Ohio University, and Allegheny College. Bush trying that left side and picks up 2.5 yards on the play. Jared Crick in on the stop for Houston. So Arian Foster, who has come in with the best resume in the NFL the last couple of years at running back, has been held to 31 yards. Reggie Bush has gone for 54 in this first half. Bush will get a breather. Thomas is in now for Miami. Flags come down. Houston pointing to Miami's left side of the line.
Ball start. Offense. Number 80. 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
And it was strong side left with the tight end Anthony Fasano.
Yeah, watch this little move here by Fasano. He looked pretty guilty, didn't he?
He did. He did. No hiding that one. Just under 5 minutes to go now in the second quarter. 2nd and 13 for the Dolphins. Working out of the gun, Tannehill. Here comes the rush. Tannehill on a dump off. Daniel Thomas cuts it upfield. Thomas spins into Houston territory. The catch and run for the second-year running back. Daniel Thomas, physical, bulky, 6'1", 233 pounds, and it covers 30 yards.
It's just a screen pass to number 33 here. But again, you talked about his size. I think he surprised the linebacker here as he's going to break the tackle of Cushing and then down the field.
Quick snap by Miami and the knockdown by J.J. Watt.
J.J. says he's a power rusher, but he showed a lot of finesse on that play. So he got up in the air at the line of scrimmage and snuffed that ball out.
He had 5.5 sacks in his rookie year and really became a factor in the playoffs. 2nd and 10. From the 44. Tannehill fires, drop ball. Charles Clay. Pass was a little bit off to the side. Clay tried to handle it with his hands. Incomplete.
You see the frustration on Tannehill's part. He had good pass protection this time, but the ball was thrown way behind Clay. That's a tough catch for any receiver, especially a tough catch for a fullback in the back in the flat.
3rd and 10 for the Dolphins.
They're spreading Reggie Bush out here into the slot.
Spread formation. Tannehill dealing with the crowd noise. Shotgun Tannehill. Knocked up in the air. Intercepted. Brian Cushing was able to field it like a punt. Second pick of the day.
Almost expected him to call for a fair catch. Knocked up in the air at the line of scrimmage. That's 2 passes in this possession that Tannehill has not been able to get to his receiver. Coming right in through the middle, it's J.J. Watt with his second deflection. This one pays off with the interception by Cushing.
What an impact J.J. Watt is having.
Watt?
Huh?
J.J. Watt?
I got you. And they are getting to the rookie quarterback. His second interception. So Schaub takes over. 1st and 10 from the 41 of Houston. And even 4 minutes to play in this first half. Motion man is Keyshawn Martin. Fake the running play. Schaub's got all day. Schaub. Johnson can't hold on to it. Sean Smith. 6'3" corner with the coverage against the 6'3" Andre Johnson.
Dolphins have done a good job in this first half shutting down Johnson. Just 1 catch for 11 yards. After the play action, Schaub with all the time in the world to find number 80. Delivers the ball a little bit low, but Andre's saying, man, I should have had that one.
And they are working on Brian Cushing. Remember, Cushing had that serious rib injury.
And that's where they're checking, too.
2nd and 10 for Houston. Play clock winding down. Schaub to throw it again. Into heavy traffic, and Schaub fortunate it wasn't picked off. Owen Daniels, the intended receiver. Burnett and Dansby had very tight coverage against the tight end.
Well, good defense again for the Dolphins. And a lot of concern on the sidelines for the Texans. Last year's MVP describing just how he was hit there after he made that interception.
Yeah, Cushing has really high hopes for this defense. He said at this point last year they were just trying to learn the playbook. Now they're trying to master it. Wade Phillips and the job that he did coming over from Dallas. 3rd and 10. Here's Schaub. Pocket collapsing. Schaub throws. He's got Johnson. Andre Johnson, a first down. Finally finds a soft spot in that secondary for 24 yards.
Yeah, and Schaub really cool in that pocket as it was closing in on him. The pressure from his right side forces him up into the pocket. And then Johnson with a real sharp in cut with the catch.
So a fresh set of downs to work with for Houston. We come up on 3 minutes to go in this first half. Handoff, Arian Foster. And Foster can't emerge from that group of defensive players. Kevin Burnett among those there, limiting Foster to a gain of 3.
But again, now it's good field position for the Texans. After failing to capitalize on the interception by Jonathan Joseph, their last possession. Got a field goal out of it.
This is a Houston team that opened last season when they decisive 34-7 win over Indianapolis, and the balance of power in the AFC South had clearly shifted. Texans ended up winning the division with a rookie quarterback in there, TJ Yates, stepping in for the injured Matt Schaub. Schaub out of the pocket. Schaub slides. And they're going to mark him down just across the 25 for a 2-yard gain. Joe Philbin, 1984 grad of Washington and Jefferson College in Pennsylvania, where he played tight end, looking for a timeout.
Smart timeout, too, because the 2-minute warning's coming up. He'll use that timeout, seeing that it's third down, has faith in his defense that they can stop the Texans here, and they'll have more time on the clock when the Dolphins get the ball back. Smart play by Philbin. Let's go back to the injury to Brian Cushing. They're looking at his left shoulder here. Richie Incognito just plants him right down on that left shoulder. You can see the discomfort on Cushing's face. Incognito really drove him to the ground. He goes 325 pounds down on the left shoulder of Brian Cushing.
And then Legadou Nane jumped on top of the pile.
And Legadou goes 220. That's no feather falling on that pile.
So Brian Cushing, they're still chatting with him along the Houston sideline after the interception. Coming up, Verizon halftime report. JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, Coach Cowher, the latest NFL scores and highlights, plus a preview of the U.S. Open women's final between Serena Williams and Victoria Azarenka. It's all coming up on the Verizon halftime report. 3rd and 5 now for Houston after the timeout taken by Miami. Leo. Casey goes in motion. On 3rd down, Schaub. A little flip. And he's got Owen Daniels for a first down inside the 15. 11 yards on the hookup. Rashad Jones the tackle. 2-minute warning here at Reliant Stadium. Houston Texans, Miami Dolphins locked up in a 3-3 tie with 1:58 to go in this first half, but Houston is threatening here with a 1st and 10 from the 14-yard line. 1:58 to play in the second quarter. Arian Foster in the backfield. Running play. Foster! He's in! Touchdown, Texans! Arian Foster slicing it upfield for 14 yards and a score.
Great job on the right side of the line. Antoine Caldwell, Derek Newton, center Chris Myers. And Foster just exploded through that hole. And when he got to the 5-yard line, he wasn't going to be denied. No way.
Shane Graham on for the extra point. The Texans put a touchdown on the board after the interception by Cushing. 7 plays, 54 yards, and then they got their first lead of the day. 10-3, Houston. Arian Foster, quiet first half, but Foster with his first touchdown of the season. Arian Foster finished 5th in the NFL last season, 1,224 yards on the ground. He's given Houston a 10-3 lead here in the second quarter.
Great blocking. Watch Caldwell and Myers work on Starks, and then Caldwell will come off and block Dansby. Great job by the center, Chris Myers here. And then the vision of Foster to get in the end zone.
Shane Graham will kick it off for the Texans. Thigpen, the deep man for Miami. Thigpen with a running start. Takes it out of the end zone. Thigpen cutting to the perimeter. And Thigpen brought down just short of the 30-yard line. Don't forget, coming up, Verizon halftime report. JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, and Coach Cowher, the latest NFL scores and highlights, and a preview of the U.S. Open women's final. Serena Williams, Victoria Azarenka. It's coming up on the Verizon halftime report. It took just over 2 minutes for the Houston Texans to score their first touchdown of the season.
Good news for the Texans. Cushing is back.
First down for Miami. They got a minute 44 to work with at the end of this first half. Tannehill again knocked up in the air and intercepted. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. J.J. Watt has done it again.
And it's not as if Tannehill is 5'4". He's 6'4". But it's the finesse game of J.J. Watt here. From the other side, rather, it is number 99, though. Great job of getting up in the air. Watch Watt. 3 times here in the first half. 2 times the ball has been picked off.
3 straight possessions, 3 Tannehill picks. The number 2 defense in the NFL last season, and they believe they're better this year. 10-3 lead for Houston. Chance to put more points on the board. 1:36 to go, first half. Schaub to throw it. Schaub, deep ball. Kevin Walter, the intended receiver, and a flag thrown. Richard Marshall, the defensive back on the play.
Yeah, ball was slightly underthrown by Schaub. Marshall, of course, does not like the call, but he was not playing the ball, trying to play through the receiver. That gets the flag.
Defense number 31. A foul occurred in the end zone. By rule, the ball will be placed at the 1-yard line. Automatic first down.
Yeah, both hands right in the chest of Walter. That's an easy call for the replacement officials, who have done a pretty good job so far in this first half.
Yeah, no major issues here in Houston. And the Texans with a 1st and goal at the 1. Casey in front of Foster. Texans looking for more. Schaub on a give. And Foster goes down. No gain on the play. Clock is rolling. A minute 20 left. Olivier Vernon, the rookie out of Miami, 3rd-round pick, in on that stop. Personnel changes here. Ryan Harris is going to come on. So an extra offensive lineman here. 2nd and goal for Houston. We are under a minute to go in this first half. Tight formation on 2nd and goal. Handoff. Foster. Foster pushing his way to the goal line, and they give him the touchdown. 2nd rushing touchdown for Arian Foster. He broke the plane.
A real battle with Dansby right at that plane. Officials right on the spot, saying he got in before the ball comes loose. Right there, the ball is across the plane. Touchdown, Texans. Doesn't matter if the ball comes loose after that.
Shane Graham on for the extra point, and just like that, it's going to be 17-3 Houston. 17 quick points off of Miami turnovers. Foster's got his 2nd rushing touchdown. J.J. Watt, what a difference maker he has been.
Yeah, great job of blocking up front. Wade Smith there. Dwayne Brown, ball clearly over the plane as our camera is right on the goal line. Touchdown for Arian Foster.
So Foster, 12 carries, 49 yards, 2 touchdowns. Concerns this week about the knee. Eventually comes out it was more of a calf issue. And Foster came out and said it. I'm playing Sunday.
I thought it was interesting, and questioning him about the knee. You know, we weren't doing a 60 minutes on him or anything. But every time he started to talk about his knee, he said, oh, I'm not going to tell you which one it is, but he kept looking at his left knee.
You pulled a little Sherlock Holmes there, I felt.
Well, you know, it's elementary.
It is. I've heard that. I thought it was also interesting that Arian, to our interview, took a segue for our chat.
Yeah, that's the first time. You know, you see something new every day in this game. First time I've ever seen a player riding a Segway, and this was indoors.
Indoors.
Rode it in, rode it out.
Hey, if you got it, flaunt it.
I was jealous. I'd love to try one of those.
Yeah. How's your balance?
Not good enough, I don't think.
17-3 Houston. Graham kicks it off. Thigpen on the move. Thigpen almost able to get through that second wave, and he's cut down to the 30-yard line by Quentin Dempsey. J.J. Watt has had a major impact.
You know, he watched the Hard Knocks show. He said he picked up the snap cadence. He also talked about learning about players and how much they really want to play. I think he also might have picked up something about Tannehill's release because, again, Tannehill goes 6'4", but Watt at 6'5" has been able to deflect 3 of his passes, and they ever paid off for Houston.
He had nice things to say about Tannehill, called him a smart guy. He's picked up the offense quickly, but he said this isn't Aggie land. He's going to find that out quickly. Loose football and another turnover. Quinn knocked it free. Danielle Manning on the recovery.
And Daniel Thomas with the fumble that time. But Wade Phillips has certainly made the proper adjustments for this Houston defense. You can see the ball just popped out before Thomas can even get to the line of scrimmage.
That is 4 turnovers on successive possessions for the Miami Dolphins. The bottom has fallen out in this first half.
And up to this point, or to that point, Ian, they had been playing very disciplined football.
Daniel Thomas is down. He took a shot from Quinn.
But how about bringing the safety blitz here at the end of the first half? Watch as Thomas heads up here, and Quinn's going to come on the blitz right there as he reads the play. Unaccounted for. Charles Clay could not pick him up, and it's a big turnover again. And Houston with just one timeout, 28 seconds. They're in great shape.
Well, they have Thomas sitting up now. They're going to help him to his feet. Daniel Thomas, part of the young core for this Miami Dolphins squad. Second round pick in 2011. Originally from Hilliard, Florida. And Thomas is woozy. So Joe Philbin, who has seen some good things from his young football team in this first half, but now the turnovers have become contagious.
You could say Watt happened.
Yeah.
J.J. Watt happened.
You're right. 6.5 minutes left in this first half. It was 3-0 Miami. Here's Shaw. He hits Ben Tate. Tate trying to get out of bounds. And he'll be marked out just inside the 25, a 7-yard gain.
Really a good effort by Tate to get out of bounds and save that timeout.
.20 seconds remaining, 1 timeout left for Gary Kubiak's team. And a 2nd and 3 here for Houston. Shotgun formation for Shaw. Shaw looks over the middle. Hits his man Andre Johnson. And Johnson tackled inside the 15. 12 seconds remaining. That's a 10-yard gain. Houston has used its final timeout.
Well, they get a chance now to take a couple of shots at the end zone before they bring out Shane Graham for a field goal try. But when you've got Andre Johnson, you've got legitimate chances at a touchdown.
Medical staff sticking with Daniel Thomas. Head injuries, a point of concern and contention in the NFL. Now in every stadium around the league, you have an independent trainer upstairs surveying the action. If he or she notices anything that's out of order, they can call downstairs and have the medical staff take a look. Obviously, this one was obvious with Thomas as he took a pop.
Yeah. And a couple of moments ago, Brian Cushing was making his way to an early appointment in the training room.
So 12 seconds left, first half. Chance for Houston to get at least one shot at the end zone, maybe two, depending upon how long this first play takes. From the gun, Shaw, fade route, up in the air. Andre Johnson, touchdown! The Shaw to Johnson connection.
How do you not double team Andre Johnson? I don't get it. All Andre Johnson does is catch touchdown passes. That's 53 on his career now. Working on Sean Smith. Little stutter step. Watch the throw now. Perfect throw. Great job with the toes to get him in bounds. That is fantastic. It's like he separates his body. The upper half to catch the ball, the lower half to make sure his feet are in bounds.
He missed 9 games last season with hamstring trouble. And Johnson, who's not a guy who beats his chest or screams from the rooftops what kind of player he is. He lets other people do the talking, and plays like this do a lot of the talking for Andre Johnson.
4 catches, 59 yards, and that touchdown. Last 2 completions to number 80. Smith's got good coverage, but that ball is perfect. And the ability to just pause as you're flying out of bounds and make sure you dot the I with both toes.
24 unanswered points in less than 6.5 minutes. And a resounding Reliant Stadium reaction from the fans as Johnson went airborne into the stands. 7 seconds left. Houston 24, Miami 3.
Now the story has been in the second quarter, the turnovers. Miami with 3 of them. And now have 4 turnovers on the game. 2 interceptions, 2 fumble recoveries. J.J. Watt with 3 pass deflections. And all 24 points off those turnovers.
Put this one on the ground. Jaworski Lane bottled up at the 40-yard line. And 1 second remains on the clock. Andre Johnson has been a Miami Dolphin killer in his career. Out of the University of Miami, Andre Johnson, a Miami native, 5-time Pro Bowler, elite wide receiver that gets it done against his hometown team. Dolphins take a knee, and they head to the locker room with a lot to talk about. End of the first half. Houston with a 24-3 lead on Miami. We'll come back to Verizon Halftime Report after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS, home of Super Bowl 47.
All I see is pain and destruction.
This isn't about bombs and ships anymore. He hurt my family. The season premieres of NCIS and NCIS Los Angeles. CBS Tuesday, September 25th.
New this fall, Elementary. Sherlock Holmes is back.
I heard good things. Yeah, of course you did.
Elementary premieres CBS Thursday, September 27th.
amigos, regresamos al partido de los Houston Texans contra Miami. Un gran resurgimiento de los Texans al final de la primera mitad, que reciben el despeje para iniciar el tercer cuarto. Marlon Moore con la parada de Trenton Holiday, el hombre con la devolución. Matt Schaub con excelentes números en esa primera mitad, aprovechando los errores de Miami. Ha convertido de 19-10 para 149 yardas. 24 puntos en los últimos 6 minutos para los Houston Texans. Estaban empatados todavía con 4 minutos por jugar en la primera mitad. Houston recupera el balón en su propia yarda 15. Aaron Foster con la barrida por el lado derecho. Foster con 49 yardas en 12 acarreos en la primera mitad. Su más largo fue de 19, pero anotó 2 touchdowns. Gran corredor de Houston. Nos están avisando que Daniel Thomas de Miami, con una lesión, una conmoción cerebral posiblemente, no va a regresar al partido. Así que Miami en problemas. Pierden el marcador y pierden a uno de sus corredores. Segundo y 6 para Houston desde la 19. Entrega a Foster cruza la línea de ataque, baila al lado izquierdo y consigue unas 4 yardas. Aaron Foster, el hombre que terminó tercero en la liga en yardas totales por aire y por tierra, 1841 en total. Ahora creo que vamos a ver mucho más de Aaron Foster en esta segunda mitad, ya que Schwab y los Texans están arriba cómodamente en el marcador 24-3. Para Miami tienen que estar frustrados por jugar muy bien, especialmente su defensa en esa primera mitad, los primeros cuarto y medio.
Timeout Houston. First timeout of the half.
En el tercer cuarto, Houston arriba 24-3.
Barney Stinson is absolutely 100% going through with this wedding.
I have a better tie at home. It's cornflower blue.
How I Met Your Mother season premiere Monday, September 24th.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
13:35 por jugar en el tercer cuarto en Reliance Stadium en Houston. Los Texans arriba 24-3.
Possession just behind Pittsburgh. Miami's actually won that category because Houston has scored so quickly off the turnovers. Schaub's pass to Owen Daniels is incomplete. Kevin Burnett, the linebacker, making the play, and it's 4th down for Houston.
Yeah, real good pressure on Schaub here as he gets dropped by Wake. And Burnett on the other end of that play with the coverage on the tight end. Good start for the Dolphin defense.
So Donnie Jones, the former Miami Dolphin punter, will put it in the air with Marcus Thigpen waiting at the 30-yard line. Jones now in his 9th year, career punting average of over 45 yards per kick. Thigpen fields it cleanly. Thigpen's got a hole, shoots through it. Thigpen into Houston territory. Marcus Thigpen is gone. Touchdown Dolphins, 72 yards. Brilliant return by Marcus Thigpen.
Ian, you couldn't be more accurate because he was so decisive on this return. No dancing, no hesitation. He sees it right now, right up the field, breaks a tackle right there, and he has got the punter to beat. No contest.
So the Dolphins have their first touchdown of the 2012 season. It comes on special teams. First-year running back Marcus Thigpen.
Well, just what the Dolphins needed to erase the memories of the last 2 minutes of the first half.
Extra point from Dan Carpenter. Miami has cut into Houston's lead. It's 24-10. We're still early in the third quarter. Thigpen his first NFL touchdown.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. The new 90-inch Aquos LED TV, only from Sharp. And by the all-new Dodge Dart. Dodge, new rules.
Miami Dolphins now trailing the Houston Texans 24-10. The 73-yard punt return for Thigpen.
Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all too close together here. Thigpen will come up here and then outside, so the lack of discipline on the coverage team by the Texans really cost them. Great vision by Thigpen to get all the way to the end zone.
Miami will kick it off with Dan Carpenter. Trindon Holiday is standing deep in his own end zone for Houston. Holiday 4 yards deep. They'll take it out. That slips down just short of the 15-yard line. It's been quiet for Holiday here today on special teams. In the battle for Las Vegas, only one man can win. Dennis Quaid and Michael Chiklis star in Vegas. It premieres Tuesday, September 25th, only CBS. So Matt Schaub and the Texans offense back on the field. 5-5 all-time record on NFL kickoff weekend for the Texans organization. Ball at the 14-yard line, now leading 24-10. Fake the handoff to Tate. Schaub, he's got time. Comebacker for Andre Johnson. Just has that innate ability of getting himself open. And very close to first down yardage. And it will be enough.
And part of that getting open is just running really sharp routes. He's got great feet, very powerful, and just there's no indecision when he's running his routes. You know exactly where he's going to be, and obviously his years spent with Matt Schaub is really paying off.
Well, Gary Kubiak told us they're going to use Johnson a little differently, rotate him in a bit more with the young guys, not going to use him for 60 plays of offense, trying to conserve energy. Schaub to Johnson on the quick hitter. The slant for Johnson just short of the 40-yard line. That covers 15 yards. And the Texans trying to build a little rhythm here in the passing game.
They're working on Richard Marshall. Got him with the out route before. That time Marshall played the out route. Johnson runs to the slant, and Schaub facing some pressure there as the Dolphins come with the safety blitz. Rashad Jones too late.
He is the longest tenured Texan, now in his 10th year in the NFL. First-round draft pick back in 2003 out of the University of Miami. The pitch. Ben Tate sheds one tackler, and then Tate is surrounded for no gain on the play. Koa Misi was the first man there, and then he was joined by about 4 teammates. So they're expecting a lot out of these linebackers, Misi, Dansby, and Burnett in this 4-3 set.
And Dansby and Burnett did not play a whole lot in the preseason, so they're getting their first taste. First game of the season.
Right now the ratio of Foster to Tate is 14-2, but that's 7-1 if you want to do the math, Dan.
Really?
There's Schaub on a dump off for Kevin Walter, and he takes it to the 45-yard line. That's a 6-yard pickup through the air.
Well, you know, Kubiak said it was going to be 4-2, and
he did.
I know as a math minor at Syracuse, you figured that one out in a hurry, and I'm appreciating the tutorial I'm getting here.
Gary's point was well taken, that for every 4 carries for Foster, you'll see Tate for about 2 carries.
And then you took it to the lowest common denominator.
Well, that's what I was taught to do at a very young age. I had a very strong liberal arts core.
Put your shoes back on.
3rd and 4 now for the Texans. Here's Schaub. Gets rid of it. Hot throw to James Casey. First down into Miami territory, and Schaub has gotten it going now. That's 17 yards on the catch and run.
Casey's such a valuable member of this offense. Here he is lined up at the halfback position, comes out of the backfield, and there's just no answer for him as Owen Daniels runs and clears out the middle linebacker, Dansby, and then inside of Burnett goes Casey. well-designed play.
Schaub now just short of 200 yards. He's hit on 9 of his last 10 attempts. Under 10 minutes to go now in the third. Houston in front by 2 touchdowns. Give is to Tate. Tate bouncing off a tackler. Tate leans forward and takes it to the 36-yard line. That's a 2-yard gain. Odrick and Jones there to bring him down. And you're talking about probably the best 1-2 punch in the NFL right now between Arian Foster and Ben Tate. Tate's got that downhill running style, but different than Arian Foster.
Well, they almost had 2,000-yard rushers last year with Tate filling in so well for Foster when Foster was out with a hamstring.
Tate proved that he is very capable. 942 yards on the ground last year. He missed the 2010 season with an ankle injury.
All right.
Second and long here for Houston. Schaub to throw it. Slings over the middle. Kevin Walter with a catch. Down to the 26-yard line and a first down for Houston. Sean Smith in coverage.
Schaub off to a great start here as Walter will make this catch, getting inside Sean Smith on the slant route. The Schaub getting the protection is now just picking apart this Dolphin defense of Joe Philbin.
Philbin trying to urge on this defense right now. Houston with 259 total yards. Schaub, dump off. Foster toppled. Couldn't get past Koa-Misi, who got him down low. It's a loss of 4 on the play.
Really a heck of a job by Koa-Misi as he gets to Foster just as Foster's turning around and Koa-Misi's being blocked in the back by Chris Myers. Outstanding play by number 55 here. Schaub 6 for 6 on this drive.
Matt Schaub 4-0 in his career against Miami. Last weekend his jersey was retired at the University of Virginia. He said it was a lot of fun to head back to Charlottesville and was amazed at how much the campus has changed. Foster, one cut and go. Arian Foster inside the 20. Wade Smith and Antoine Caldwell, the guards, pushing up front for Foster.
Yeah, he's got to be a little bit disappointed he didn't get a little bit more out of this once he broke the line of scrimmage, because it's very similar to this 14-yard touchdown run he had in the first half. Right here, he kind of just trips as he reaches the 20-yard line. Good enough, though, for 12 yards.
69 yards on the ground for Foster. 2 touchdowns. He'll remain in there. We'll come up on 7 minutes to play in this third quarter. 3rd and 2. The pitch. Foster can't get to the perimeter. Rashad Jones, the safety, a quick one, helped make sure of it. Jeremiah Bell now with the Jets. Jones getting more opportunities in this defense. It's a loss of 4.
Well, he's going to beat the block of Owen Daniels here. Watch number 20, Jones, come up here. And Daniels just a little bit slow getting out there on the block.
So field goal attempt now for Shane Graham to extend this lead. 40 yards for the veteran. Graham splits the uprights. Houston with a 27-10 advantage now in the third. Coming back to Reliant Stadium after this. Long drive for the Texans. 11 plays, 64 yards. It took 6 minutes and 42 seconds. They get the 40-yard field goal from Shane Graham, and now he'll kick it off to Marcus Thigpen, who had the 72-yard punt return for a touchdown last time Houston kicked to Miami. Thigpen takes it out 2 yards deep. Again, right up the middle. And this time he gets knocked down and across the 25-yard line. Tim Dobbins with a hit. Ryan Tannehill will try to forget about that first half when we come back.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. And by McDonald's. I'm loving it.
Ryan Tannehill making his NFL debut among 5 rookie quarterbacks getting starts today. Andrew Luck, you see his numbers today. RG3 getting it done against the Saints. Brandon Weeden struggling against Philadelphia. And Russell Wilson will play later today for Seattle.
Yeah, the pride of Baylor. RG3 against a tough Saints defense, having a day.
First play from scrimmage in the second half for Miami. It's a give to Reggie Bush. And they surround Bush as he picked up 3 yards. Connor Barwin able to make the stop. Daniel Thomas suffered a head injury in that first half, and he will not return for Miami. Tell me about what Ryan Tannehill is thinking now. First NFL action, has the 3 picks in the first half.
And really only one of the picks was his fault, the one that Joseph picked off. The other 2 were deflected balls by J.J. Watt, so he's got to be feeling pretty good about his first half. But
what about
that play?
J.J. Watt devours Tannehill. Antonio Smith got the pressure initially, and then Watt engulfs the rookie.
Well, watch Watt. 99, he's going to run right by Reggie Bush there. Got by the rookie Martin and then just planted Tannehill, and that hurt Tannehill.
3rd and 15 now for Miami. These fans are in a frenzy. Working out of the gun. Shovel pass to Bush. Houston all over it with Brooks Reed. Reed, a little bit of a question mark this week. He was dealing with a hip injury, but he's been in there for Houston and one of the guys making plays for Wade Phillips.
Yeah, J.J. Watt's playing with a bad left elbow. Brian Cushing with a sore left shoulder, but they're all in there. Great reaction that time by Brooks Reed to make that play on Bush.
Brandon Fields will punt it. Trendon Holiday waiting for it at his own 30-yard line. We're down to 4:37 to go in the 3rd. Holiday fields cleanly at the 22. Has a little bit of room. Flag is down. Holiday stutter step. And Holiday hit as he crossed the 35-yard line by Jason Trusnick. 53-yard punt and a 14-yard return. Penalty marker at the 49.
It's going to be holding against the Texans.
During the return, holding, number 57. That'll be a 10-yard penalty, first down.
Jesse Nading called on the hold. Texans, though, will have the football. Big number 99, J.J. Watt, first-round pick last year out of Wisconsin. Major influence here today. 27-10, Houston leading the Miami Dolphins here in the 3rd quarter. This Houston team last year could not keep Schaub, Foster, and Andre Johnson on the field together. Only 45 plays for the 3 of them out of the team's total 1,046 last year. Foster getting the call for no gain.
And continuing our math tutorial, that's only 4% of the time. Schaub today, 16 of 26 for 200. Foster, 16 carries for 65 and a couple of scores. Andre Johnson, 6 catches for 84 yards and this beautiful touchdown catch.
And that's a big part of the reason why the expectations are so high for the Houston Texans. They believe they can play with anybody in this league and are ready to take that next step after making the playoffs for the first time last year. Schaub over the middle. High throw. It's handled by Daniels. And Daniels gets hit out across midfield. Owen Daniels has been a weapon. 24 yards.
That's 4 catches for 87 yards for Daniels. And this is the best one of the day as he gets around Kevin Burnett and then snags that high throw from Schaub. But if Owen Daniels is healthy, he's the 4th part of that 3-piece puzzle, if you will.
And that was an issue for him. 2010, hamstring trouble. 2009, a torn ACL. Excellent hands, as he is shown here today. On first down, Arian Foster gets a touch. And Miami stacks him up. Slowed down by Paul Soliai. It's a loss of 2 on the play. Watch fantasy football today to get game time player news, inactive updates to help set your lineup, and chat with our experts every Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern at cbssports.com/live. Dan Fouts was my #1 overall pick in my 1982 fantasy football league. I won the league that year. Thanks, Dan.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for my check.
Excuse me?
Did you get paid for winning, or is it just a
No.
trophy?
It was all just handshakes and
Did you get
pats on the back.
Did you get a Stetson?
I got a Stetson. I'll give you that. You can have my hat. Put some soup in it for you. Schaub steps up and throws to Tate. Ben Tate wrestled down at the 45-yard line by Carlos Dansby, and that covers 6 yards. Clock is rolling, under 2 minutes to go in the third.
And that's the key, is the Texans have done a great job here in the second half of just taking time off the clock. You see Schaub just waiting for the play to come in and making sure he does not have 12 men in the huddle. That's one thing, a situation where a lot of these replacement officials have missed in the preseason. So when teams have had too many men in the huddle.
Keyshawn Martin is out there, the rookie out of Michigan State. Andre Johnson goes in motion on 3rd and 5. Working from the gun. Schaub, low throw. Johnson the concentration and the clean catch for the first down. So this drive will continue. They needed 5. They picked up 6.
Toughest catch of the afternoon for Johnson, but not a problem as he goes down and makes sure he has control of that ball before the ball hits the ground. That's a clean catch for Johnson.
Johnson able to cradle it. 9 straight completions now for Schaub.
58.
New set of downs for Houston to work with. Under a minute to go in the third. Here's Foster. Arian Foster puts the head down and drives forward. Short of the 30-yard line. Keyston Randall, rookie out of Texas, 7th-round pick, in on that stop. It's a 6-yard gain.
And you know, Gary Kubiak's got to be happy with the way the Texans have been able to run effectively to the right side and to the left side. Remember, Derek Newton taking over at right tackle has done a good job for Houston this afternoon.
And that's going to be the final play of this third quarter. Tannehill just has not had many opportunities in this second half. The Houston Texans are in control. 27-10, they lead the Dolphins after 3. We'll come back to Houston after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS, home of Super Bowl 47. Like those hats, Dan?
Yeah, there's a 2-for-1 sale over at the Piggly Wiggly.
27-10. Houston in front of Miami. Ian Eagle, Dan Fouts. That was Dan Fouts, by the way, Hall of Famer. And the rest of our CBS crew. Handoff. Arian Foster tried to get a head of steam there, but picks up maybe half a yard. Randy Starks will get credit for the stop for Miami. We're underway in this fourth quarter. Houston has now put up 304 yards of offense.
It makes you wonder, how long will Gary Kubiak keep Arian Foster in the game?
Foster, 20 carries, 69 yards, 2 touchdowns. Ben Tate, 3 carries for 8 yards. 3rd and 4 now for the Texans. Johnson comes in motion. Out of the gun, 3rd down. Schaub airing it out. Separation. Johnson's got it. Pushed out of bounds inside the 5.
Great timing, great touch by Schaub, great concentration by Andre Johnson. He's going to beat Jimmy Wilson here with a little move there. Watch as he fades with the ball and almost gets all the way to the end zone.
1st and goal, just inside the 4-yard line. Johnson now 8 catches, 119 yards and a touchdown. Motion man is Kevin Walter. On 1st and goal, Foster, stutter step, trying to power his way in. He'll come up short. Takes it to the 1.
Matt Schaub, since the end of the first half, he finished 5 for 5 in the second half. Now he's 10 out of 11. That's a hot hand.
Schaub has got it rolling. Johnson is on the sideline with the helmet off. And the numbers for Andre Johnson. Anybody who questioned whether or not Andre Johnson could get back to the level that he's grown accustomed to, forget about it. He's there. 2nd and goal for Houston. And Foster is cut down. Cameron Wake there defensively along with Dansby for Miami.
Yeah, Wake gets a great push off the line there as he pushes Owen Daniels back, and then Dansby does what a middle linebacker is supposed to do, just mirror the running back as he goes low as well to keep Foster out of the end zone.
3rd and goal. In this half, Miami has had the football for just over 2 minutes. On 3rd down, Houston trying to add to its lead. Shaw up top, too high for Owen Daniels. Texans will settle for a short field goal attempt.
That may have been the best decision that Schaub's made all day. As the fans, they want touchdowns. They don't want these field goals. Here's Daniels on the left side of the screen. Schaub sees him covered by Rashad Jones and just sails it out of bounds.
No reason to force it in there. Who knows? You turn the ball over and Jones takes it the other way, and all of a sudden this game has a completely different feel to it. 19-yard attempt. Shane Graham knocks it through. Houston with a 30-10 lead over Miami. We're in the 4th quarter at Reliant Stadium. Big Pen will take a knee. Dolphins will have it at the 20-yard line. After the game, it's the U.S. Open Women's Championship. Serena Williams takes on Victoria Azarenka. Then tomorrow, 4 Eastern Time, the Men's Championship. Andy Murray, looking for his first Grand Slam title, meets Novak Djokovic.
Okay, who do you like in both of those?
I like Serena against Azarenka. She's just been rolling through the U.S. Open. And I'm going to go with Novak Djokovic. I know, Murray's a great storyline.
Yeah. Had a great day yesterday.
But Djokovic just looks like he's locked in again. Tannehill throws. Good catch made by Devon Bess, and he stays on his feet. Shake and bake move to the 31-yard line for 11 yards and a first down.
Yeah, it'll be interesting now to see what Joe Philbin and Mike Sherman want Ryan Tannehill to do now. They're going to be in this up-tempo offense as they've been all day long. But he's going to have to throw the ball to get back into this one in a hurry.
First down of this half for Miami. Reggie Bush with a flag thrown. And Bush moving laterally. There was no hole that opened up. Richie Incognito might get called on the hold here.
You think so, huh?
Maybe. I'm not an official.
Or a replacement official.
Neither.
Holding. Offense number 68. 10-yard penalty. Replay first down.
And it is Incognito.
Not this time, it's not.
Or it's not Incognito, depending upon how you look at it. So back it up. 1st and 20 now for Miami. 11:45 to play. 4th quarter. Dolphins started last season 0-7, went 6-3 the rest of the way. They've had 3 straight losing seasons. That hasn't happened to the Dolphins going back to 1969. Catch made, and Reggie Bush busting it to the outside for an 18-yard pickup.
That's a real quick read by Tannehill to get the ball to Bush in a hurry. So Bush can turn and use his speed as he did that time and almost picked up the first down.
You know, we all asked Joe Philbin how far he goes back with Mike Sherman. He said it's 32 years. He first met him and worked with him at Worcester Academy. Kirk Ferentz, the Iowa head coach, was also on that staff. I'm going to say Worcester Academy was pretty good that year.
They were well coached.
Reggie Bush accelerating into Houston territory, and a first down incognito with a good block up front and a 12-yard gain.
And it's kind of an interesting dynamic when you're an assistant to a guy and then tables turn and now he's the boss and you're the assistant.
Philbin was the assistant to Mike Sherman when Sherman was the head coach in Green Bay, and now Sherman returning the favor as the offensive coordinator under Philbin here with Miami. Shotgun. Tannehill. Nice grab. It's Hartline. Hartline looking for a face mask call, and now he'll get it.
Yeah,
the flag.
he will. I like this about Tannehill. The Texans were coming with an all-out blitz. He stood strong and fired the ball to Hartline, and they'll get an extra 15 after this.
Personal foul, face mask, number 25 of the defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So it works against Kareem Jackson. And they'll march down the field here after they mark off the penalty.
Yeah, that's a case where Jackson, seeing the ball, is actually reacting to the ball, and then his hand comes down on the face mask. That's a good call.
First and 10 of the 25. There's Wade Phillips, defensive coordinator for the Houston Texans, and what a turnaround last year under Phillips on that side of the ball. From the gun, Tannehill throws. Big hit. Hartline takes a shot, and it's Jackson again. 9-yard pickup as Hartline holds on to the football. Take a listen. And they're counting on Hartline, who could not play in the preseason because of the calf injury. Now in his 4th year with the Dolphins. 4th-round pick back in 09 out of Ohio State. Flag thrown as Manning stands up Reggie Bush. No gain on the play. Some pushing and shoving afterwards. Connor Barwin getting into it with Jonathan Martin, the rookie.
That's why we have Don King here today.
I thought we were going to avoid all boxing references. It happened at the 9:22 mark of the 4th quarter.
Only in America.
That's true. We almost went the distance. All 12 rounds.
That's the bottom of my bucket, baby.
So Don King will check the scoring sheet. Looks like an offsides or a split decision.
Offsides, defense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
So some shaky moments on this drive for the Houston defense. They played well. They've gotten in the face of the rookie quarterback, Ryan Tannehill. They've made it uncomfortable for him. 3 interceptions, 4 turnovers overall. On first down from the 11. Dolphins looking for their first offensive touchdown. Tannehill floats it towards the sideline and incomplete. Hartline was in the general area. And now they're going to have to break it up. Pushing and shoving continues.
Well, they've got to go to the neutral corner here, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Now watch Tannehill following through. He's going to hit his right hand on the back of Jake Long's helmet. That'll sting.
Second and 10 for the Dolphins. From the gun, Tannehill pump, throw, offline, looking for Hartline. Kareem Jackson again in coverage for Houston.
Outstanding coverage by Jackson. Doesn't go for the little fake right there, stays with the receiver, then undercuts it looking for the pick. Great coverage by Jackson.
And now it's third down for Joe Philbin's squad. Tannehill, the former wide receiver at Texas A&M. Shotgun. Steps over the middle and well short. He does hit Bush, but he's brought down quickly after a gain of 3.5. So now it's 4th down. What are the Dolphins going to do? They're going to leave him out there.
No, you got to. You're down by 20. 3 points doesn't do you any good.
Tannehill trying to get everybody on the same page here.
They can get a first down. They need a touchdown.
Texans fans on their feet. 4th down for Miami, trailing 30-10. Tannehill throws. Fasano the catch, and short. Jonathan Joseph helped make sure Fasano couldn't get any extra yardage, and they turned it over on downs.
That's 2 plays in a row where Tannehill really showed that he's a rookie here, throwing completions way too short of the potential first down or touchdown.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Bose, the official home audio sponsor of the NFL. FedEx. FedEx does more than shipping. FedEx, solutions that matter. And by the Samsung Galaxy Note 10.1 with S Pen. Note the new way.
NFL kickoff weekend here in Houston. The Texans 30, the Dolphins 10. And Houston's got the football with 8:16 to go in the 4th quarter.
No.
1st and 10 from the 6. Ben Tate in the backfield. That could be it for Arian Foster. Here's Tate on a running play, running inside. Cameron Wake with a stop and a gain of a yard, yard and a half. Coming up tonight on 60 Minutes, he was one of the Navy SEALs who shot bin Laden. The dramatic story he tells is only on 60 Minutes. That's tonight, only CBS. Foster still has the helmet on. 22 carries, 71 yards, and 2 touchdowns for Arian Foster. We'll call it 2nd and 8 here for the Texans. Another running play. It's Tate, and he is brought down by Soliai. NFL Today update. Let's head to New York. JB standing by.
And as you know, the Rams only won twice last year.
JB, Sam Bradford, maybe engineering an upset right here. Brandon Gibson, 23-yard touchdown pass. Rams up 19-13, awaiting an extra point try as we speak.
Back to Iron Eagle, Dan Fouts.
All right, and there's Boomer Esiason with the assist. St. Louis with Jeff Fisher at the helm. They've got the lead on Detroit, and the Rams have not been able to turn it around in recent years. 3rd and 12. And it's Foster getting the carry across the 10-yard line. It's short of the first down. Houston not going to chance anything, use as much clock as possible, and go punt the football.
Well, and that's a good situation for Miami as they call timeout here. Of course, the last time that Thigpen brought back a punt return, 72 yards for the Dolphins, their only touchdown of the afternoon.
So 2 timeouts remaining for Miami, 2 left for Houston as well. Coming up Wednesday in prime time, JB, Chris Collinsworth, and Phil Simms. Special guest Bill Cowher. They'll have a view of our Sunday tradition that's uniquely Showtime. It's Inside the NFL, and it's Wednesday on Showtime. Some fantasy updates for you. Romo had the big day on Wednesday night. Matt Ryan has gone for 299 and 3 touchdowns. There's Schaub, RG3 in his NFL debut. Jay Cutler, running back spot. C.J. Spiller of Buffalo, 10 carries, 144 yards.
That's a good average.
What are the numbers?
14 something.
Yeah, very good. Andre Johnson, the leading receiver, 8 catches for 119 yards and a touchdown. His 39th career 100-yard game. The punt from Donnie Jones. Miami was coming. And Jones has it bounce out of bounds just across the 40-yard line. They'll spot it at the 41. Marlon Moore got some pressure on the punter. Last year, the Houston Texans were number 4 in the NFL in points allowed. They allowed 17.4 points per game. They've given up 10 today to Miami, and 7 came on a punt return touchdown. Best field position of the day for the Miami Dolphins. Tannehill working out of the gun. Tannehill throws to Devon Bess, and the play was whistled down after he picked up 9 yards. Bryce McCain making the play defensively for Houston.
Best leading receiver for the Dolphins last year has 5 catches to lead the Dolphins today. Almost got away.
2nd and 1 for Miami. We'll hit the 6-minute mark of this 4th quarter. Reggie Bush flagged down. Bush could not get the acceleration. J.J. Watt drives into Bush, and a loss of 1.
Holding. Offense number 68. 10-yard penalty. Replay 2nd down.
And that's Richie Incognito.
It's the same type of play he was called for holding on earlier. 68 is Incognito working against Antonio Smith. And the flag will come flying.
So the line of scrimmage is now the 42-yard line. 2nd and 11 for Miami. We told you Daniel Thomas suffered a head injury in the first half. He has not played in this second half. Tannehill, deep ball, hauled in by Hartline. And a matchup with Kareem Jackson, and Hartline wins the battle.
Beautiful throw by Tannehill, but watch the concentration. Good coverage by Jackson. But Hartline sees the ball early and can make the adjustment and then survive the collision with the ground, and the Jackson coming right on top of him.
34 yards through the air, and a 1st and goal for Miami from the 8. Tannehill, shotgun, rush coming, off his back foot, throws to Anthony Armstrong, catch made for 3 yards, down to the 5.
By that time, the Texans defensive coordinator Wade Phillips dials up the blitz that brought both safeties. Tannehill, if he had a little bit more time, might have seen Fasano in the back of the end zone.
Clock is rolling. We're down to 4:37 left in this 4th quarter. 2nd and goal. Tannehill. Another change. Play clock down to 1. Tannehill floats it upstairs, looking for Fasano. Incomplete.
Now, what happened there is that the Texans gave him a look at it was going to be an all-out blitz, as it was on the previous play. They backed out of it, confused Tannehill, and good coverage on Fasano in the corner of the end zone.
So it's 3rd and goal for Tannehill and the Dolphins. Tannehill, moving pocket, throws, connects with Devon Bess, but he was out of bounds.
And not only was he out of bounds, but he catches the ball a yard short of the end zone. Got to push up the field more to get in the end zone. So if you make that catch, it's a touchdown.
Well, it looked like a clean catch to me.
And there's a challenge flag from Joe Philbin. He saw what you saw.
It was bang bang, but looked like he got the tippy toes down.
Miami
left
has
right.
challenged the ruling on the field that the player was out of bounds.
Basically, you're talking about going from the 5-yard line to the 1-yard line. And it's still going to be 4th down. Either way you slice it.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Merrill Lynch Wealth Management. And by Subway. It's Subway's birthday, and everyone is celebrating with $5 footlong faves all September long.
Fourth quarter action here in Houston. Dolphins have challenged the call on the field that it was an incomplete pass. Officials said that Devon Best was out of bounds when he hauled it in at the 1. Don King has taken a look at it.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. Miami will be charged with a timeout.
Well, it ends up costing them 4 yards and a timeout on 4th and goal.
It's just tough to determine whether he has possession there. Is that right foot off the ground? Apparently, the officials thought it was.
He was bringing the ball to his body, so you could absolutely make the case that he hadn't completely secured it. 4th and goal for Miami. Shotgun, Tannehill. Tannehill looks, knocked down. Tim Jamison able to get a piece of the football, and Houston will take over with an even 4 minutes to play.
This is a sight way too familiar for Dolphin fans today. First half, it was J.J. Watt doing that. This time, Tim Jamison. Get that right hand up there and knock it down. Big play on 4th down.
Texans have it. First down at their own 5-yard line with a 30-10 lead on Miami. Running play, Foster spins and then lost his legs out from under him. Arian Foster, a loss of 1 on the play. Last season, Houston Texans had a +7 turnover differential. That was 7th best in the NFL. Right now, they are at +4. 4 Miami turnovers. Houston has not turned it over today.
And all 4 of those turnovers led to 24 points.
2nd and 11 now for the Texans, who come up on 3 minutes to play. Walter goes in motion. Keep it on the ground. And Foster scoots ahead across the 5-yard line for a 1-yard pickup. Carlos Dansby will get credit for the stop. So that's 25 carries, 78 yards, 2 touchdowns for Arian Foster. Ben Tate, 5 carries for 6 yards.
That answers the question why Arian Foster may still be in the game when this game obviously is no longer in doubt. But you're backed up and you're on into the field. Gary Kubiak trusts Arian Foster to hang on to the ball.
3rd and 10. Job's got 3 receivers, but they're going to run a play to Foster again, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage. Timeout called by Miami with 2:24 left, and some extracurricular activities between these two teams once again. Dwayne Brown having words with Olivier Vernon, the rookie, and Burnett in there as well for Miami. Houston will punt it on 4th down. Dolphins are out of timeouts.
Ended up in the interception.
Tannehill gets rid of it to Reggie Bush. Stop and go for Bush across midfield into Houston territory. We hit the 2-minute mark of this 4th quarter. 2 minutes to play. Houston closing in on an opening weekend win. The AFC South champion Houston Texans in control against the Miami Dolphins, opening up the 2012 season. 2 minutes to play in this 4th quarter. Houston 30, Miami 10. 3rd and 2 for the rookie out of Texas A&M, Ryan Tannehill, and this Dolphins offense. 287 yards of offense. Tannehill 20 of 35, 219 yards, 3 interceptions. 3rd and short. Tannehill gets rid of it. And not quite on the same page as Anthony Armstrong as Tannehill felt the pressure coming. Jonathan Joseph with the coverage.
Now we talked about the turnovers that were forced in that first half. Good pressure most of the day on Tannehill. Very frustrating to have passes knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Doubly frustrating when they end up in the arms of the opposing team's secondary.
Tannehill telling us yesterday, look, it's been a whirlwind 9 months. Great opportunity here with Miami. Still trying to make the most out of each day, and he's going to have to learn from this experience. Tannehill is sacked. Tim Jamison busting through, and that'll do it.
And that's the other part about a rookie quarterback, is knowing in your head when that clock and his time is running out in the pocket. He's just a little bit late trying to escape, and Jamison had the angle on him, brought him down easily.
Miami has no timeouts remaining, and Houston can just go into the victory formation here with 3 knees. The Houston Texans handing Joe Philbin his first loss as an NFL head coach.
There's the guy responsible for turning it around for the Texans, giving the offense great field position with those deflected passes that were picked off. And then finally the offense led by Matt Schaub, who got very hot there in the second quarter and the start the third quarter. Really looked like the Texan team that people expect great things of this season.
Schaub takes a knee. They'll do it one more time. 6.5 minutes to go in the second quarter. Miami led this game 3-0. 4 turnovers. The rest of the way in that half led directly to 24 points for Houston.
And 21 points in the last minute 53 seconds of the first half because of those turnovers.
The Houston Texans on NFL kickoff weekend get it done against the Miami Dolphins. 30-10 the final. Gary Kubiak and Joe Philbin. Handshake in the middle of the field. And for Ryan Tannehill, this is just game number 1 for the Texas A&M product. And what the Dolphins are hoping is a long and productive career at the quarterback position. Matt Schaub, 266 yards and a touchdown. That'll do it here in Houston. For Dan Fouts, this is Ian Eagle. So long from Reliant Stadium. This is the NFL on CBS, home of Super Bowl 47.